You're surrounded by voices, each one pulling at your soul. They don't shout. They simply whisper, twist, control. Ever felt your truth slip away in a single question? That's not an accident. It's a trap. Liars ask 27 questions to bend your reality. Each one a blade, aimed at your clarity. You've doubted yourself because of them. But you're not their pawn. You're a warrior. Will you let their words define you? Or will you rise, unshakable, and claim your truth? Before we dive in properly, I want to gently ask you to click on the subscription button and subscribe to this channel. Also mention in the comments section the place you're watching from and the time it is over there. You're about to find freedom here. Feel free to relax. Imagine that you're standing in a room full of voices, each one pulling at the edges of your soul. They don't shout, they whisper, prod, and nudge. And yet, you feel the weight. A subtle tightening in your chest, a flicker of doubt in your mind, a quiet erosion of your certainty. You've felt it before, haven't you? That moment when someone's words twist your reality, make you question what you know to be true. Not because they're stronger than you, but because they found the cracks you didn't know were there. This is the art of manipulation, and you've been its target longer than you care to admit. Pause. Look inward. When was the last time someone's words made you doubt your own eyes? A friend's casual dismissal of your feelings, a colleague's sly reframe of your truth, a loved one's gentle nudge that felt like a shove. You didn't call it manipulation then. You called it conversation. But here's the truth, delivered like a blade through fog. Most people don't lie with bold deceit. They lie with questions, carefully crafted, soft as silk, sharp as steel. Questions that plant seeds of doubt, guilt, or shame. Questions that make you bend, not break, until one day you realize you're no longer standing upright. This isn't about paranoia. It's about power. The power to see through the haze, to stand unshaken in a world that thrives on your uncertainty. You've spent too long letting others define your reality, haven't you? Nodding along to keep the peace, swallowing your instincts to avoid conflict, reshaping your truth to fit their frame. But deep down, the moment you let someone else hold the reins of your mind, you've already lost the war. Here's the paradox. The strongest chains are the ones you don't see. Manipulation doesn't come with a warning siren. It comes dressed as concern, cloaked in kindness, or wrapped in logic, so tight you can't unravel it. It's the coworker who asks if you're sure about your decision, planting a seed of hesitation. It's the partner who wonders why you're so upset over something small, making you question your own heart. It's the friend who probes your choices, not to understand, but to control. These aren't just words. They're weapons, forged to exploit the parts of you that crave approval, fear rejection, or seek harmony. But you're not defenseless. You were born with a mind like a fortress, built to withstand storms. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius stood amid chaos and wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is your birthright, to see clearly, to feel deeply, and to act justly, no matter the shadows cast around you. The liars, the manipulators, the weavers of doubt, they only win if you let them in. So stop, breathe, feel the ground beneath you. This is the moment you reclaim your power, not with anger or defiance, but with the quiet, unshakable clarity of a warrior monk. You're not here to play their game. You're here to rewrite the rules, to recognize the traps hidden in their words, to stand tall, not because you're fearless, but because you've chosen to face the truth, your truth, with eyes wide open. Are you ready to see the questions for what they are? To dismantle the illusions and walk through the world as a sovereign of your own mind? Then listen closely. This is where the battle begins. You've chosen to face the truth, to stand as a sovereign of your own mind. But the battle isn't won by decision alone. The enemy is not just out there. It's woven into the fabric of your thoughts, your habits, your instincts. It's the invisible trap you've walked in countless times, not because you're weak, but because it's designed to be unseen. Manipulation doesn't just come from others. It thrives because you've been conditioned to open the gates and let it in. This is the trap, the quiet, insidious patterns that make you doubt your own strength, blur your own clarity, and hand your power to those who don't deserve it. Picture a spider's web, delicate and nearly invisible, yet strong enough to hold you fast. The threads are spun from your own desires, to be liked, to avoid conflict, to belong. Every time you nod to keep the peace, every time you swallow your truth to avoid a fight, every time you let someone else's words override your instincts, you're caught. Not because you're foolish, but because you're human. The trap exploits what's natural: your empathy, your trust, your need for connection. It turns your virtues into vulnerabilities, and you don't even see it happening. Let's walk through the mechanism. It starts small. A moment of hesitation when someone challenges your reality. You feel it, a flicker of unease, a tightening in your gut. But you dismiss it. It's not worth the argument, you tell yourself. They didn't mean it that way. You move on, but the seed is planted. Doubt creeps in, not as a loud intruder, but as a whisper you barely notice. Over time, those whispers stack. They become a chorus, drowning out your inner voice. You start to question what you saw, what you felt, what you know. This is how the trap tightens, not by force, but by erosion. Emotionally, it's a slow bleed. You feel drained, not because you're fighting battles, but because you're fighting yourself. You're wrestling with guilt for feeling hurt, shame for doubting others, fear of being too much. Socially, it's a performance. You smile to keep things smooth, agree to avoid tension, reshape your truth to fit the room. Mentally, it's a fog. You second-guess your decisions, replay conversations, wonder if you're the one who's wrong. This is the trap's genius. It makes you your own jailer. You build the walls brick by brick every time you choose harmony over honesty, approval over authenticity. Consider the colleague who always seems to shift blame, leaving you questioning your work. You don't confront it. You don't want to seem petty. Or the friend who subtly undermines your confidence, and you laugh it off because you're above taking it personally. Or the partner who twists your words, and you apologize to keep the peace. Each time, you feed the trap. You call it kindness, maturity, or strength. But it's not. It's surrender. You're handing over your clarity, your power, your truth, one small compromise at a time. This isn't new. The Stoics saw it clearly. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The trap lives in your imagination, in the stories you tell yourself about why you should stay silent, why you should doubt your instincts, why you should let someone else's version of reality win. It's reinforced by a world that rewards compliance over courage, agreement over truth. Society trains you to be polite, to avoid rocking the boat, to prioritize others' comfort over your own clarity. And so you do. You nod. You smile. You let the web tighten. But here's where the trap deepens. It's not just about what you do. It's about what you stop doing. You stop trusting your own eyes. You stop speaking your truth. You stop standing firm. You become a passenger in your own mind, letting others steer. The manipulator doesn't need to push hard. They just need you to keep giving ground. And you do, because the trap feels safe. It feels like control. It feels like you're being the bigger person. But you're not. You're shrinking. You're fading. You're letting the light of your own certainty dim. Now, feel the weight of that. You've done this. We all have. You've let someone's words twist your reality, not because they were right, but because you didn't want the fight. You've stayed silent when your soul screamed to speak. You've doubted your own heart to keep someone else's ego intact. This is the trap's true power. It makes you complicit in your own betrayal. It's not just them. It's you, choosing their comfort over your truth. But you can stop. Right now. The Stoics taught that freedom begins in the mind. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The trap only holds you because you've let it. You've fed it with your silence, your hesitation, your fear of being difficult. But you're not here to be easy. You're here to be true, to see clearly, to stand tall. The trap is invisible, but it's not unbreakable. You can dismantle it, thread by thread, by reclaiming the one thing no one can take from you, your mind. This is the moment of recognition. The trap is real, but so is your power. You've been caught before, but you don't have to stay there. The web only holds if you keep still. Move. Speak. Trust yourself. The manipulators, the doubters, the weavers of shadows, they only win if you let them. But you won't. Not anymore. You're awake now, and the battle for your mind is yours to fight. You emoji can do a lot in the comment section by informing us that you follow and you're ready to let yourself find freedom from all of these. You're awake now. The trap is exposed, its threads laid bare. You see how it's held you, how your own choices, born of good intentions, have woven the web tighter. But seeing the trap is only the beginning. To break free, you need more than awareness. You need a foundation, a bedrock of wisdom that stands firm when the world tries to pull you back into doubt, compliance, or fear. This isn't new. The battle for your mind has been fought for centuries, and the Stoics, those warrior philosophers of old, knew how to win it. Their words, forged in the fires of empires and personal trials, are not relics. They are weapons sharpened for today's war against manipulation and self-betrayal. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled Rome while wrestling his own soul, wrote in his Meditations, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Simple words, yet they cut like a blade through the haze of modern life. You live in a world that rewards half-truths, where people twist words to bend reality, where social pressure demands you nod along to keep the peace. Marcus faced the same. Surrounded by schemers, flatterers, and betrayers, he ruled an empire while anchoring himself in one truth: no one can steal your reason unless you let them. Today, you're not ruling Rome, but you're fighting for something just as sacred: your clarity, your truth, your mind. Consider how this applies. When someone sows doubt in your heart, when their words make you question your instincts, you're not just facing a person, you're facing a force as old as time. Manipulation thrives on your hesitation, your need for approval, your fear of standing alone. Marcus knew this. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The colleague who undermines you, the friend who subtly shifts blame, the voice in your head that whispers you're not enough, they're all outside events. They only control you if you give them the reins. Marcus didn't just endure betrayal. He transcended it by refusing to let it define him. You can do the same. Seneca, another Stoic giant, saw the trap's emotional roots. "We are more often frightened than hurt," he said, "and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Sound familiar? You replay conversations, overthink someone's tone, wonder if you're the one who's wrong. This is the trap's fuel, your imagination, turned against you. Seneca, exiled and surrounded by enemies, didn't crumble. He trained his mind to focus on what he could control: his thoughts, his actions, his truth. Today, you're not exiled to an island, but you're exiled in subtler ways, ostracized by groupthink, silenced by fear of judgment, or trapped in self-doubt. Seneca's answer? Stop imagining what others think of you. Stop fearing their words. Focus on what's real, your values, your reason, your resolve. Then there's Epictetus, the former slave who became a philosophical warrior. He said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." A slave in body but free in mind, Epictetus understood that the true prison is not chains, it's letting others dictate your emotions. In modern life, this translates to the social pressures that bind you: the need to be liked, the fear of being too much, the urge to conform. When you let someone's words twist your reality, you're not just reacting, you're surrendering. Epictetus would tell you to stop. Your will is yours alone. Even beyond the Stoics, other warriors of the mind echo this truth. Sun Tzu, the strategist of the art of war, wrote, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." The enemy isn't just the manipulator. It's the part of you that doubts, that hesitates, that crushes under pressure. Know yourself, Sun Tzu says. Know your triggers, your weaknesses, your strengths. In today's world, this means recognizing when you're tempted to appease, to avoid conflict, to let someone else's narrative override yours. That's where the battle is won or lost, within. Nietzsche, the philosopher of relentless self-overcoming, adds fire to this wisdom. "That which does not kill us makes us stronger," he declared. Every time you face manipulation, face it. Don't flinch. Don't retreat. Each encounter is a forge, shaping you into something harder, sharper, truer. But Nietzsche's strength isn't bravado, it's clarity. It's the courage to look at the world's chaos and say, "I will not bend." You're not just surviving manipulation, you're using it to grow, to refine your mind into a weapon of truth. These ancient voices aren't distant. They speak to you now, in the quiet moments when you feel the web tightening. They remind you that the trap isn't new, and neither is the way out. The Stoics and their kin faced betrayal, doubt, and pressure, just as you do. They didn't just survive, they thrived because they mastered one truth: no one can control your mind unless you let them. You're not a victim of others' words or society's expectations. You're a warrior, armed with reason, anchored in truth. System, truth. The Stoics didn't just teach survival, they taught mastery. You're not here to be swayed by others' games. You're here to command your own soul. This fight isn't new, but it's yours. The wisdom of Marcus, Seneca, Epictetus, Sun Tzu, and Nietzsche isn't locked in history books. It's alive, pulsing in your veins. They faced empires, exile, and chaos, yet stood unshaken. Now it's your turn. The trap is real, but so is your power. Will you let the world bend you, or will you rise, clear-eyed and unbreakable, to claim your truth? The trap is real, but so is your power. Will you let the world bend you, or will you rise, clear-eyed and unbreakable, to claim your truth? The Stoics carved their wisdom in stone, but you live in a world of glass. Screens that flicker, notifications that hum, voices that whisper through digital threads and real-life shadows. The trap hasn't changed. It's just dressed up in new clothes. It's the 27 questions liars ask to manipulate you, woven into the fabric of your daily life, designed to make you doubt, bend, and break. They're not just questions, they're weapons, and you're standing in their crosshairs. But you can see them now. You can feel their weight, and you can choose to stand firm. Picture this. It's 2 a.m., and your phone glows like a siren in the dark. A message from someone you trust, or thought you did. Why are you overreacting? It reads. Your heart clenches. You reread it, fingers hovering over the keyboard, mind racing. Did you overreact? Are you too sensitive? That's one of the 27. Question number 1. A subtle jab meant to make you question your own emotions. You're not sleeping now. You're spiraling, replaying the day, wondering if you're the problem. The trap is alive, and it's in your hands, buzzing with light. Or maybe it's the office, fluorescent lights humming overhead. Your inbox a battlefield of unread emails. Your colleague leans over, voice dripping with concern. Are you sure you're up for this project? Question number 5. A velvet glove hiding a steel fist, planting doubt in your competence. You smile, nod, say you've got it handled. But inside, the seed takes root. You work late, double-checking every detail, proving yourself to someone who didn't deserve your proof. They didn't ask that question to help you. They asked it to control you. And you let them because the trap feels familiar. It feels like responsibility. Then there's the dinner table where someone you love says, why can't you just let it go? Question number 12. A classic deflection, turning your valid pain into a flaw of character. You feel the sting, but you swallow it. You don't want to ruin the evening. You don't want to be that person. So you laugh it off, change the subject, let the moment pass. But it doesn't pass. It lingers, a quiet wound, festering in the silence you chose over truth. This is what it feels like to live in the trap, a slow bleed of your own power, drop by drop, until you're running on empty. They're everywhere, these questions, in group chats that buzz with passive-aggressive jabs. Don't you think you're being a bit dramatic? Question number 19. A dart aimed at your confidence. On social media, where strangers comment, why do you even care about this? Question number 23. Dismisses your passion and makes you second-guess your voice. In your own head, when you hear echoes of their words, are you sure you're not just imagining it? Question number 8. Gaslighting you into doubting your reality. These aren't just words. They're chains, forged to bind your mind to someone else's will. Feel the weight of it. You're scrolling through your phone, chasing distractions to drown out the unease. You tell yourself it's just a bad day, just a misunderstanding, just life. But it's not. It's the trap, tightening with every moment you let these questions slide. You feel it in the knot in your stomach when you avoid speaking up. You see it in the mirror, in the tired eyes staring back, drained not by work but by the effort of holding yourself together. They don't need to yell or threaten. They just need to ask the right question at the right moment to make you fold. But let's shift the lens. Look at them, the manipulators, the shadow weavers. They're not masterminds. They're scavengers, feeding on your hesitation. The coworker who questions your ability isn't worried about the project. They're worried about their own status. The friend who dismisses your feelings isn't protecting you. They're protecting their ego. The partner who deflects your concerns isn't seeking harmony. They're dodging accountability. They ask these 27 questions because they work. Because you've let them work. Because somewhere along the line, you learn to prioritize their comfort over your truth. Now, see yourself in the modern mirror. You're not just a victim of their words. You're a participant in the dance. You've answered their questions with silence, with apologies, with compromises that chip away at your soul. You've scrolled past your own instincts, like posts that made you feel small, stayed quiet in rooms where your voice could have cut through the noise. You've burned out, not from work, but from carrying the weight of their doubts alongside your own. This is the trap's modern face, a world that moves too fast for reflection, too loud for truth, too connected for solitude. And yet, you're still here, still standing, still capable of breaking free. The Stoics would recognize this world. Marcus Aurelius wrote under candlelight, surrounded by the chaos of an empire, yet found stillness within. Seneca faced exile, yet refused to let his enemies define him. Epictetus, enslaved in body, claimed freedom in his mind. They'd see your phone, your inbox, your relationships, and they'd say, "This is no different. The tools have changed, but the battle hasn't." So what does it feel like to live in this trap? It's the heaviness of unsaid words, the exhaustion of pretending, the quiet rage of knowing you're right, but staying silent. It's the 3 a.m. glow of a screen that doesn't comfort you. It's the workplace coffee break where you smile through gritted teeth. It's the family dinner where you bite your tongue to keep the peace. It's the envy you feel scrolling past curated lives, the doubt that creeps in when someone questions your worth, the loneliness of knowing you're not seen. But it's also the spark of recognition, the moment you realize you don't have to stay here. You have a choice. You can keep answering their questions with compliance, or you can answer with truth. You can let their words define you, or you can define yourself. The Stoics didn't just endure, they chose. They chose reason over reaction, clarity over chaos, courage over comfort. You can too. The 27 questions are powerful, but they're not invincible. They only work if you let them. So stop, look in the mirror, see the warrior staring back. You're not here to bend to their will. You're here to rise, to claim your mind, to wield your truth like a blade. This is your moment. The trap is real, but so is your power. The questions will come, 27 of them, sharp and sly, but you're ready. You're awake, and you're not alone. The Stoics stand with you, their wisdom a torch in the dark. Step forward. The battle for your mind is yours to win. Now, let's step aside a bit. Do you ever experience any of these things that we have been talking about? I'm not going to ask you to type them down in the comment section, but you can drop a simple emoji to let us know that you relate. Cheers to your freedom. You're awake. You see the trap, its threads glistening in the light of your clarity. The 27 questions liars ask to manipulate you. Those sly, venomous probes are no longer invisible. They're weapons aimed at your mind, your heart, your truth. But you're not defenseless. You're not a pawn in their game. You are a warrior, and the Stoics have armed you with a counterweapon sharper than any question, the disciplined mind. This is your blade, forged in reason, tempered by courage, wielded with precision. Draw it now. The battle for your soul begins with a single choice, to stand unshaken. Discipline is your shield. You don't need to outwit the manipulator. You need to outlast them. Their questions thrive on your reaction, your doubt, your hesitation. Deny them that. When the question comes, "Why are you so upset?" Or, "Are you sure you're not overthinking this?" Pause. Breathe. Feel the ground beneath you. You are not obligated to answer. You are not obligated to explain. Your truth does not need their approval. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Your first weapon is silence. Not the silence of surrender, but the silence of strength. Let their words hang in the air. Let them choke on their own traps. Clarity is your sword. The manipulator's questions are designed to cloud your mind, to make you question your reality. Cut through the fog. Anchor yourself in what you know. You saw what you saw. You felt what you felt. Their words don't change facts. When they ask, "Don't you trust me?" A question meant to guilt you into compliance. Respond with precision. Trust is earned by actions, not words. When they say, "Why can't you just let it go?" A deflection to dodge accountability. Stand firm. I'll let go when the truth is addressed. Your clarity is a blade that severs their illusions. Wield it without apology. Courage is your armor. The trap feeds on your fear. Fear of conflict, fear of being difficult, fear of standing alone. Embrace that fear. It's not a weakness. It's a signal you're on the edge of growth. Epictetus taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. You can't control their questions, but you can control your response. When they ask, "Are you sure that's what happened?" A gaslight to erode your reality. Meet it with unwavering resolve. My memory is clear. Let's focus on the facts. Courage doesn't mean shouting or fighting. It means standing in your truth, even when your voice shakes, even when the room grows quiet. Focus is your fortress. The modern world is a storm of distractions, screens, notifications, voices pulling you in every direction. The manipulator knows this. Their questions are timed to catch you off guard when you're tired, scrolling, or lost in thought. Don't let them. Train your mind like a soldier trains for battle. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Stop imagining their intentions. Stop replaying their words. Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your truth. When a question comes, "Why are you making this a big deal?" Redirect. "I'm addressing what matters to me." Build your fortress brick by brick, moment by moment, by choosing what deserves your attention. Self-mastery is your victory. The 27 questions only work if you hand over your power. Don't. You're not their puppet. You are not their mirror. You're not here to reflect their reality. You are here to create your own. Every time you choose silence over reaction, clarity over confusion, courage over fear, you win. Not because you've defeated them, but because you've reclaimed yourself. Nietzsche's words ring true. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. Every question you deflect, every trap you sidestep, forges you into something unbreakable. You're not just surviving, you are becoming. This is the Stoic response: a disciplined mind, a clear heart, a fearless soul. It's not about outsmarting the manipulator, it's about outgrowing them. Their questions are noise. Your truth is signal. Their doubts are shadows. Your resolve is light. Train yourself daily. When the phone glows at 3 a.m., don't answer. When the colleague probes your confidence, don't waver. When the loved one deflects, don't bend. Each moment is a chance to wield your counterweapon, a mind that answers to no one but you. Stand now. Feel the weight of your own power. The Stoics didn't just endure, they commanded. Marcus ruled an empire while mastering his soul. Seneca faced exile with a pen and a purpose. Epictetus turned slavery into sovereignty. You are their heir. The 27 questions are coming, but you are ready. Your mind is a fortress, your truth a blade, your courage a fire that cannot be extinguished. When the manipulator speaks, let them hear your silence. When they question, let them face your clarity. When they push, let them meet your strength. This is your counterweapon, a life lived on your terms. No apologies, no compromises, no surrender. You're not here to answer their questions. You're here to ask your own. What is true? What is right? What is yours? Draw the line. Hold the ground. The battle is yours, and you will not lose. As you watch, kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we share our next video, where we'll be talking about something way more interesting around this same aspect of our lives. The battle is yours, and you will not lose. You've drawn your counterweapon, a mind sharpened by discipline, a heart fortified by clarity, a soul armored in courage. The 27 questions liars ask to manipulate you no longer hold sway. You've seen their shadows, felt their weight, and chosen to stand firm. But this victory is not the end, it's the beginning. The Stoics didn't fight for survival, they fought for meaning. Now step back, look beyond the battlefield. This isn't just about deflecting questions or outwitting manipulators. This is about who you are, why you're here, and what it means to live free in a world that seeks to bind you. This is your awakening. Zoom out. The trap, the questions, the endless noise of modern life, they're not just obstacles. They're mirrors reflecting a deeper truth. You're not defined by what others say, but by what you choose to believe. The manipulators, with their sly probes and veiled doubts, aren't just attacking your confidence. They're challenging your identity. Every time you answer their questions with silence, with clarity, with truth, you're not just winning a skirmish. You're claiming your existence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What color is your soul? Is it stained by their doubts, or radiant with your own truth? This is the philosophical turn, from fighting manipulation to forging meaning. The Stoics understood that life is not a series of battles to be won, but a single question to be answered. What does it mean to live well? Not loudly, not proudly, but truly. The 27 questions are not just traps. They're invitations to define yourself. When someone asks, "Why are you so sensitive?" they're not just deflecting, They're asking who you are. When they say, "Don't you trust me?" they're not just manipulating. They're probing your boundaries. Each question is a crossroads. Will you let them shape your reality, or will you shape your own? Consider mortality. You will not live forever. The notifications will fade, the emails will be forgotten, the arguments will dissolve into dust. Seneca reminded us, life is of a limited span. You should be living it, not just passing through. Every moment you spend entangled in their questions, every ounce of energy you give to their doubts, is a moment stolen from your purpose. You're not here to answer to them. You're here to answer to yourself, to live deliberately, not reactively, to choose your path, not follow theirs. The manipulator's power ends when you realize your time is finite and yours to command. This is about freedom, not the shallow freedom of doing what you want, but the profound freedom of being who you are. Epictetus, once a slave, knew this better than most. No man is free who is not master of himself. The 27 questions are chains, but they're brittle. They break when you refuse to let them define you. Freedom is not escaping the world's noise. It's choosing which voices to hear. It's not avoiding conflict. It's facing it with a mind that bends to no one. It's not living without fear. It's acting despite it. You are free when you decide that your truth is enough. Now feel the shift. This isn't just about surviving manipulation. It's about awakening to your destiny. The Stoics didn't teach resilience for its own sake. They taught it to align you with something greater. Your life is not a series of reactions to others' words. It's a story you write, line by line, choice by choice. Nietzsche urged us to become who you are. Every time you deflect a manipulator's question, every time you stand in your truth, you're sculpting that self. You're not just resisting, you're creating. You're not just enduring, you're becoming. This is the stillness of truth sinking in. The world will keep spinning, phones will keep buzzing, voices will keep questioning. But you're not the world. You're the one who sees it clearly. You're the one who chooses. The 27 questions are not your enemy. They're your forge. Each one is a chance to hammer your soul into something stronger, truer, freer. You don't need to be louder than the noise. You don't need to be stronger than the manipulator. You need only to be yourself, unshakable, deliberate, alive. Stand in this moment. Feel the weight of your own existence. You're not here to answer their questions. You are here to ask your own. What is true? What is right? What is yours? The Stoics knew the answer lies within. Marcus faced an empire's chaos and found peace in his thoughts. Seneca faced exile and found purpose in his words. Epictetus faced slavery and found freedom in his will. You face a world of questions, but you hold the same power. You are not a victim of their words. You are not a shadow of their doubts. You are a force, a mind, a soul. This is your awakening, not to confidence, but to consciousness, not to victory, but to meaning. The 27 questions will come again, but they will find you different. You are no longer the one who bends. You are the one who stands, who sees, who chooses. Your life is not a reaction. It's a creation. Step into it. Live it. Own it. The trap is broken. The truth is yours. And in that truth, you are free. The truth is yours. You are free. The 27 questions liars ask to manipulate you, those cunning, shadowed probes, have no power over a mind that sees clearly, a heart that stands firm, a soul that chooses itself. You've walked through the trap, armed yourself with Stoic wisdom, and awakened to your purpose. You are not the person who bends to their words, who dims their light to ease their discomfort, who trades truth for peace. You're the one who rises, who creates, who lives deliberately. But this awakening is not a fleeting spark. It's a fire you must tend. The world will test you. The questions will return. And so, you must make a vow, not to the world, but to yourself. A quiet, unshakable oath that will echo in your bones when the noise grows loud, when the doubts creep back, when the web of manipulation tries to snare you again. This is your declaration, your creed, your line in the sand. I will not be swayed by shadows. The manipulators will come, their questions sharp and sly, but I am sharper. I'm not here to answer to their doubts. I am here to answer to my truth. When they ask me to question my reality, I will stand in it. When they push me to bend, I will root myself deeper. My mind is my fortress, my clarity my blade, my courage my shield. I vow to guard them fiercely, not with anger, but with resolve. I will not let their words rewrite my story. I choose clarity over chaos. The world is a storm, screens flashing, voices clamoring, questions burrowing into my thoughts like thorns. But I am not the storm. I am the stillness at its center. I will not chase distractions to escape discomfort. I will not scroll past my instincts to numb my truth. I will pause, breathe, and see. Every question they ask is a test, and I will meet it with eyes wide open. I vow to see the trap for what it is, not a chain, but a chance to sharpen my mind, to reclaim my power, to write my destiny. I will not trade my truth for their approval. The 27 questions are not just words. They're temptations to surrender, to nod, to smile, to shrink. But I'm not here to be small. I am here to be whole. When they ask, "Why are you so sensitive?" I will not apologize for feeling. When they say, "Don't you trust me?" I will not hand over my discernment. When they probe, "Are you sure you're not overthinking?" I will not doubt my reason. I vow to hold my truth like a flame, burning bright even in the darkest rooms, unyielding even in the loudest crowds. I embrace my mortality as my guide. Life is not endless. Every moment I give to their questions, every ounce of energy I spend on their doubts, is a moment stolen from my purpose. Seneca said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." I will not live as if I have forever. I vow to spend my days deliberately, to choose my battles wisely, to let go of what does not serve my soul. The manipulator's questions are fleeting. My truth is eternal. I will not waste my breath on their games. I will use it to build my life. I am a master of my mind. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." I will not let their questions pull the strings of my thoughts. I will not let their doubts steer my actions. I am not their mirror, reflecting their insecurities. I am not their pawn, moving to their whims. I am the architect of my reality, the author of my story, the warrior of my soul. I vow to question their questions, to challenge their challenges, to stand sovereign in my own mind. Their words end where my will begins. I will forge meaning from struggle. The 27 questions are not my enemy. They are my forge. Each one is a hammer strike, shaping me into something stronger, truer, freer. Nietzsche's words echo. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. I will not flinch from the heat of conflict or the weight of doubt. I will use them to temper my resolve, to sharpen my clarity, to deepen my purpose. I vow to see every challenge as a chance to become, to rise, to create a life that is mine alone. I will live with courage, not comfort. The world rewards the compliant, the quiet, the comfortable. But I am not here for ease. I am here for truth. I vow to speak when my soul demands it, to stand when others kneel, to act when fear whispers retreat. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the choice to move through it. I will face the 27 questions with a heart that does not waver, a mind that does not bend, a soul that does not break. This is my oath, spoken not to the world, but to myself. I am not the one who stumbles in the trap. I am not the one who answers to shadows. I am the one who rises, who sees, who chooses. The 27 questions will come, but they will find me ready. I will meet them with silence when silence is strength, with words when words are truth, with action when action is power. I am not here to survive. I am here to live, to create, to be. Stand now. Feel the vow settle into your core. This is not a promise you make once. It's a creed you live daily. Every morning, when the world wakes with its noise and its questions, you will renew this oath. Every night, when the screens dim and the silence falls, you will know you've kept it. The Stoics stand with you. Marcus with his clarity, Seneca with his purpose, Epictetus with his freedom. You are their air, their fire, their truth. The 27 questions are no match for a soul that knows itself. This is your declaration. This is your life. This is your freedom. I vow to be unshakable. I vow to be true. I vow to be me. If this message spoke to you, follow for clarity, not comfort. And comment below, I choose awareness. Because awareness is the first weapon of strength.